Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. Right, so anyway, welcome to AAC's 4th live stream, folks. Special thanks to Paul Longhurst for being on hand as usual. However, Paul, you've got a little bit of news in here. You've had a bit of a disaster of an evening, haven't you? Hence why we're split up tonight. And you've trusted me. You've trusted me to run this thing tonight. Do you want to tell people why you're out of breath and why you're still in your work clothes?
I'm still in. I haven't dressed up for the occasion because I'm on a live stream with you, and I would usually be in the room with the two of you. So I got a call this afternoon about 2ish to say I look after a property that's in East Ham, so in East London, and they said that someone's broken into the property. So I left work and went down to the property, and one of the front window was hanging out or hanging off, where someone had broken in. And it transpires last night they'd broken in, they'd got in, and then they tried to get out the front door, but there was deadlocks on the front door, so they haven't got out. So then, fortunately, I know someone who's a window fitter, and he was over Newington, so that's not far. So he come down, and then I had to get a locksmith out as well. And then the funniest thing was on the corner of the road, there's a curtain shop. So I went into the curtain shop and saw the guy and said, I need a net curtain. So I dragged him round to the house. He measured up for some net curtains. And then an hour later, he comes in with because I said, I haven't got a step ladder. He came in with his step ladder and fitted some net curtains. I've got to say, superb service for some little herber like me, just gone in there and dragged him round the corner to get some net curtains. So
so you've had a nightmare then.
I got in at 7 o'clock, so I haven't got changed yet or anything like that because I would have obviously come over.
Well, you look very smart, Paul.
And I noticed, Paul. I noticed you've become a shed seller by your background. You're sitting in a shed.
Yeah. So
and there's no reef tank.
So usually I sit kind of here.
Yeah.
And my reef tank is over here. But
instead, you've got a shed.
This is the back of the house.
Oh, that looks really, really pretty, Paul. So, I bet Jill's amazed.
So right across the whole of the back is basically here. Is like that. So we have no back of the house, whilst we get building work done.
Think about a whacking great big reef tank, Paul, as Jill wants.
Jill
wants a big one.
So, as always. So fortunately Jill's out. She would have run over by now and say, get rid of this nano tank, which obviously we're talking about later on. But yes. So basically there will be hopefully a new tank. I've shut down one tank, so that's the DD Reef Pro. That's gone, sold.
All right.
I'm down to 2 tanks at the moment, which is the Nano, which is in the other end of the house, in the living room, and the other one's still in the garage.
Cool. Right. So we've got that discussion coming up. So very much those of you that are watching, thank you very much for everyone that's joined thus far. So those of you watching, you might have to be a bit patient with me because I don't have my technical support. So I'll read through what we're doing. So for those that are new that are joining us this evening, start by saying there's no structure. There never is on these things. We just come up with a few points and see where it goes in the chat. But tonight we do have a couple of main topics to discuss, which are Love to Reef, which Paul L's baby. It's going to be, is it the 3rd show, Paul? I've lost count. Is it 3 or 4?
It's the 4th. It's the 4th
one. It's the 4th one.
It's 4th.
So you could say it's the longest show running in the reefing in the UK. But that's not really beaten, man. You obviously done Coral Freaks and you've done the audience with last year, but I don't think there's been another show that's run 4 years on the run.
I don't think so, actually. I suppose if we was to include Coral Freaks in it as we kickstart, we're up to show number 5, really, aren't we? On that, on the typical vendor type show. That's what it is, isn't it? Yeah. And it's amazing that you still find the energy for it. I know how much hard work there is involved with these shows. So do you want to I've got some announcements regarding the show, which I've been trying to assist you with people and things, but do you want to sort of initially, or should we, I'll tell you what, we'll come back to that in a minute. So we've got Love to Reef, we've got to discuss tonight. That's the main reason why we're here tonight, and the details regarding that. And then, of course, we're going to have a little chat tonight about nano reefs and the way that I see nano reefs these days compared to, say, maybe a few years back. Yeah. And we've got another fantastic giveaway again. We've got, which you're going to hopefully do the wheel of what we call misfortune. Someone always loses out somewhere. But, you know, NIOS have very kindly donated a set of their new additives dose in a full set. We've got like the Ion B and the different elements and things to go that, and D&D very kindly have given us a couple of those elements ICPs, probably the quickest service in the UK. We're for ICP results, and certainly a first choice of AAC for that quick turnaround. If there's time, there's something that, Paul, genuinely, you don't know about. That happened to me last week, which I might say, but we may not cover it tonight. But let's just say that the AAC DT, the display aquarium, could have been no more Thursday last week. I don't know if there'll be enough time to talk about that tonight. I may end up doing something on YouTube later on, because I feel that I need to tell people about what they need to look out for. There's certain complexities with the way we run our modern reef aquariums, which I believe are extremely dangerous. So it's a bit of a shock and awe, but and I don't have any images ready tonight to share, but we may discuss that in the future real soon. All I'll say is at the moment I couldn't spill any beans particularly, but it is being investigated regarding a piece of equipment that may have failed on the DT, rendering it near enough wiped out. So that's the first time something like that's ever happened.
I'm intrigued to find out, because I'm a nosy anyway. But
well, maybe we'll have a chat about it, or at least a little bit about it later towards the end of the show. Okay. But I think let's go through the chat now. Now, Angela and I have been entrusted to do this, whereas Paul normally does this. So who have we got in the chat?
Wrong, it's Paul's fault.
Yeah.
Right.
Which Paul?
This Paul's the one who'll get it wrong. Not that Paul, this Paul. Yeah.
Right, so we have Techers Reefer. Hello.
Hi, Techers Reefer.
Hiya.
Hi, Christy Burton.
Hi, Christy.
We've got Paul Pickles.
Hello,
I know him as.
Paul. How are you?
Hiya, Paul.
And we've got the most famous
Lord Wright.
Yeah, Lord Wright, as he's now known. Everywhere he goes, gets a red carpet.
It's Reefer.
Hello there, Steve. How you doing? Who else we got there? Ty.
Hello.
Hi, Ty. How you doing?
Hi, Ty. Thanks for the message. We've been exchanging messages around the website, because Love to Reef's got a website, so he's been we've been bouncing some emails back. So thank you.
Oh, lovely, fantastic.
Good.
UK
in 120. Hello.
Hi.
Hiya.
Oh, the paper's away.
Hayley. How are you, Hayley? How you doing? Who else we got down there? There's quite a few joining now. Woody's Reef. Hiya, Woody.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Lee's Reef.
Hiya, Lee.
Koopski. How are you?
Good evening.
Hello, Jamie.
Hi, Jamie.
Reese, Reese. Hope you're all well. Reese, actually, go back to Reese a minute. I see that Reese is currently shutting his tank down or moving or something. It's
a house move, I think. So I think he's shutting it down, because moving house is not always the easiest thing to do.
Always had a nice tank.
Wakefield Reef.
Hi, Wakefield Reef.
Good evening to you.
That's a lot.
Harry West. Hello,
hi, Harry.
How are you?
Oh, Mark Parrott. How you doing, Mark?
How are you?
Hey, Mark.
Foxy.
Mr. Fox. Hello.
Foxy. Spiritual Reefer. Let's hold on that one for a second. I don't know if you saw that, Paul. Did you see that lovely little video that Harry put together the other day?
He does.
Superb.
He does some brilliant videos, and he knows because I've already messaged him on this, because they're very different. They're not kind of like the videos that I make that are 10 a penny. He does them from a different angle, and I think he's caught a segment of the market, should we say, that no one else covers.
Well, it's interesting you should say that, Paul, because guess what? Harry potentially has agreed to come and do a live stream with us.
Yep.
Oh,
And
nice.
I think I'd really like to get behind the man that is the spiritual reefer, because I believe, like you said, he's got something very different to offer. You know, when people like Harry come out with these sort of new style or new way of looking at things, very easy to get ridiculed for something that's very different. But I really, as you full well know, Paul, when you started these live streams all those years ago, you know, it's a very difficult start for someone breaking out, and I really backing Harry on his message that he's trying to bring, because let's be honest, reefing should be about relaxation and mindfulness. I'd love to get, I don't know, hopefully, Paul, we have not had a chat about this, but hopefully, Paul, we'll get him on possibly on the next live stream or whenever's convenient for Harry. But I'd like to get
in March, because we usually do this kind of similar week. So if we can align, and Harry can obviously come over to AAC in the evening, and we can do that and have him in store, that would be really good, especially ahead of Love to Reef, because there's a real connection there between mind. We've often talked about mind and how it helps, and
just in case some of them out there don't know, Mind is the mental health charity, if there's anyone new watching. But Paul Longhurst and Jay's Real Reef particularly were very keen to promote the idea of donating any profits from Love to Reef on the ticket tree, particularly, although that might change, I think, this time, Paul. I think we're looking at the raffle, as it been so successful for a reefing audience, we might be able to cover a little bit more cost and invest a bit more into Love to Reef this year, we hope, with a bit of sound and vision and things. But who else we got in?
Right, we have Peter.
Peter.
Hello.
Hi, Pete. How you doing, pal?
Reefy Reefs.
Reefy Reefs, hiya. Wakefield
Reef.
Yeah,
Hello.
that's it.
Southeast Reefer. Hello. How are you?
Do you reckon he lives in the southeast, Paul?
Mr. Jackson.
Hello. How you doing? Shamila.
Hello.
Shamila. I'll stop on there. Paul, have you had a chance to talk to Shamila yet about?
I have, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. So
Shamila
has said yes. So yes, we'll go into
this show's really raw, because me and you haven't had a chance to speak about anything, have we? No, anything.
Because you've been away and I've been busy, and we'll have to be comparing notes live, because I've got a few bits and you've got a few bits. So we'll compare notes.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
That's the first.
Yeah.
Mr. LeMay, how
Hi,
are you,
Steve. How you doing, pal?
We've had that. Any more? Sam, how are you?
That's it. There we go.
I think that's it from
Reef 216. Sorry, there. That's it. I think we're there for a second. We can maybe come back to there a little bit there.
Yep.
All right. Right. So, Paulie.
Yes.
I think we should start with what everyone's chomping at the bit about. I'll let you go first, and I'll add my little bit in. So you go off with Love to Reef, and I'll tell you some surprises I've got for you.
You chip in. Right. So Love to Reef, if you hadn't guessed already, it's going to happen this year. It'll be on the Saturday, the 17th of May. So similar time to last year. That was on the 18th. So it's the same Saturday of the month. Kickoff will be 10:30 to about 3:30. So in terms of locations, the same. The date, 17th of May. Tickets are £20. You can buy the tickets either by messaging me on Facebook or Instagram. So that's Love to Reef or Fish Palace. Some of you can message me that way. I haven't agreed with you, Paul, yet. Are we selling them in store as well?
Of course you are.
We're doing what we done last year. Yeah.
So you can submit a form from the website.
Do you want us to do it via the website on our website, Paul? So again, like we did last time.
If we could do that. Yeah. So either in store or via the website. It's £20 a ticket, so that's the same as last year. So subject to a conversation with Paul, the plan is the ticket price covers the costs. Anything that left over goes to Mind. The kind of raffle giveaway, which we'll come on to in a moment, 100% of the proceeds of that go to the charity as well. Because the vendors that are in the hall are really kind. They don't pay for their table. But they contribute, usually it's voluntary, to the raffle. Last year, I think, and it blew my brain a bit, because I think we had something like 80 raffle prizes, which was great, but for me to facilitate was too much. It was a
lot, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think I'll probably bundle stuff together. So we may not get that many this year. I'm cool with that, but there is a big chance to win. And basically, the ticket that you buy, that gives you one entry into the raffle, so it's free, and then you can buy tickets after that. But the tickets are only available when you come through the door, so you have to be there to buy a ticket to contribute to Mind. And then once all the money's raised, that goes on to a Just Giving site, and you can see all the money. I get a contribution from work, so I can get up to £500 donated by my company. That doesn't go through the Just Giving; they donate that separately. So far we raised 4,000 last year, 2.5 grand the year before, 1,500 the year before. So it's 2, 3.
And then what about a reefing audience with? I mean, we raised another
was it 4,000? I can't remember how much
we raised it. I think we raised 3.5 grand on that. So I think you must be up to close to 10k now, aren't you?
Nearly 10,000.
Yeah.
So I never set a limit on what we're going to raise, because anything we raise will be absolutely brilliant. I'm going to speak to Mind, because you've seen some of the emails going back.
Yes.
So I'm going to speak to Mind in relation to trying to get them to have a stand in the hall, because I think they can then speak to people if they want to speak to them.
Yeah, for sure.
I think, Paul, on that thing with Mind, I mean, again, we were probably stressed. So both, I mean, obviously you're very heavily involved with a lot of hobbyists. You know a lot of people. You speak to a lot of people behind closed doors and things like that, and a little bit like, which I will I've just actually have to do a bit of a thank you, a little bit like the Reefers Network the other day, and the Spiritual Reefers video as well, and all the rest of it. I mean, really, it's about, this is what it's, how many people do we talk to that are going through different troubles and things like that. So it's really settled well, hasn't it, the Minds charity with this event?
It was basic, because I've got a history, not me personally, but family of cancer and things like that. So I was thinking of going down that route, which is a great cause. I was speaking to Jay. He's not in the chat today because he's out on a school trip today, so he can't.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. So
I remember
he said about Mind, and then the first show, which was 50 people, and I've said this, apologies for those who've heard it umpteen times before. Out of the 50 people, so it was a small show, 50 people, I think 7 or 8 people came up to me and said around how the hobby had helped them.
Yeah.
1 or 2 had said they'd saved them in terms of what happened to them mentally. And it was just a coincidence, really. And I didn't put 2 and 2 together between reefing, mental health, how people, I suppose, escape their daily troubles or what they've done in the past or whatever. With the hobby. So it's a pure coincidence. There was no connection between me, the hobby, and mental health. So I kind of got in it through Jay, really, and just stumbled in it. And then each time we've had a show, more and more people have spoken, people have messaged me in the past and everything else. So, and I know you've noticed it more in the last year or so, both of you in the store, haven't you?
Absolutely. I mean, it's one of the things I think about reef keeping in general is it's escapism. We're all dreaming of a tropical location, snorkeling in warm seas and wishing that we were there. And that's how, certainly when I was, first ever got into reef keeping, about 16, I think. I had freshwater before that. But I never ever dreamt that I would ever visit a coral reef. I wasn't from that sort of financial background. So to have this little bit of escapism in you takes you away into another world. And apart from your wallet, it's very healthy for you. Yeah. So as long as your wallet don't get damaged in the process completely, it's quite a healthy hobby. It's certainly better than drinking lots of booze or shoving lots of stuff up your nose, isn't it? I mean, that's certainly what I know it has a massive effect on people's well-being in general. Of course, there are down times, when your reef tank's melting in front of you. But that's
when you say about relaxing, it is very relaxing, but there is times where it's a complete pain in the what's it. And then you're on it every day doing stuff, aren't you? And if you've got a big tank, and that's why I've liked the Nano, because I've had problems with it, as people will have followed my channel will know. It takes a lot of work, doesn't it, to get it where it needs to be, and then you've got to be on it depending on the complexity of your tank. Yeah. So I mean, when it's going well, it's absolutely fantastic.
Well, it sort of mirrors life, doesn't it? Because it's like an emotional roller coaster in some respects. So in a way, it's almost like training. Yeah. How do you get over these problems? How do you deal with those things and what have you? So I'm pleased pleased that Mind they've stepped up their game, Mind, as well. They've started to have a sniff of hang on a minute, these reefers now. I believe that Mind are even attending fishing shows, by the way. And that will be down to the, I don't know if you ever watched it, Paul, but I absolutely loved it. Bob Mortimer, you know, the go fishing thing. You know, and of course you can see why fishing and like reef keeping are two hobbies there that are, you know, are quite good for that area, you know. So
I think also for me, and Jill's the same, I'd rather be somewhere where I can see and hear the sea than the countryside. I like the countryside, but it's kind of wasted on me. But if I go somewhere where there's the sea, I can sit there for hours because you've got that constant movement of water. And I think
waves and stuff
does that, because I've never had a tank in the living area. So this is the dining room where we are here. We had the tanks always there at the other end, and we've been down there. We've actually got the Nano in the other end. And we're sitting there and I'm watching the tank more than ever before. I've had to dial it down. The pumps are on the lowest. I've taken one of the wave makers out so it's almost silent. And I've removed the skimmer because that defeats the object. If you've got a whirring noise, that takes the relaxation away. But it's the first time I've actually just sat there while I'm watching the telly and just watched the tank. I've always put up a chair down this end and sat there for the evening. I'm not sure I really like the tank actually in the living area. That's my personal preference, but it has been quite nice. What's put me off has been the noise, but I've got a return pump that's running on the lowest setting. I've got a Toolsy running on the lowest setting.
You modern reefers are spoilt to death.
Up, Paul.
You know, there'll be people in the chat here that remember metal halides and they used to come on in the morning, and your old EIM 1060 would last you 20 years, but it'd sound like a tractor in your front room. But, you know, for me, the noise doesn't really bother me. I suppose that it helps that I'm a little bit deaf, I suppose. That always helps, yeah. But, you know, you know, it's toned. I like to know that my tons ATO has just delivered some water in my sump. You know, I don't mind a bit of noise, but each to their own. I can understand
but we haven't got one at home now, though.
Not now. No, we did have 300 million seals up until a few months back. But yeah, I'm done with a tank at home for the moment. You know, yeah. On going back to Love to Reef, Paul, I've got a little bit of news for you.
Go on then.
5 minutes before we went live.
Yeah,
and I'm sure there'll be some people in the room that in the chat that will know. But Chad Clayton of
Reef Nutrition
is coming over for Love to Reef. One, to help Angela on her stall, like he does the rap show. So anyone who's watched Reef Palooza will know about how important Reef Nutrition is to Reef Palooza. I mean, they're a platinum sponsor. You know, it's a lot of money. So, you know, I'll help Chad out while he's here and spoil him like I do all the guests. But Chad's making his own way here. Reef Nutrition are giving him a budget to fly from California, be at your Love to Reef.
Yeah.
And he's offered to do one of the things, if you know anything about Chad Clayton, although he's behind the brand Reef Nutrition, he isn't just a salesman. He has bred 20 species of marine fish. Yeah. He knows all of the aquaculture facilities all across the world. He exports from. See, a lot of people don't realise Reef Nutrition is just a tiny little company, a subsidiary of something called Reed Mariculture.
Okay.
And Reed Mariculture is the size of like a football stadium. Yeah, and it produces millions of gallons of phytoplankton every year for all of the world's aquaculture projects. And that doesn't just mean ornamental. That doesn't mean just to raise brine shrimp for your seahorses. He's producing millions of gallons of phytoplankton of various different species for even the food industry. So oysters and things like that. So Chad is we should call him Plankton Chad, because if there's anything you ever want to know about your reef tank and plankton or rearing animals or anything like that. So last year, of course, we had Jamie Craggs.
He's the science of it all, isn't he?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Last year we had Jamie Craggs at a course on the Talks for Love to Reef with regards to his latest antics as such, and I know he's very busy right now. This year we've got about the plankton. So I know one of the themes of the show, Paul, that you wanted to try and bring to this was about sustainability, captive breeding, and some of those emotive subjects. And of course, I have my own viewpoint on all of that industry, including my own self. But you know, we need to know how to do it, if nothing else. You know, just to give us some level of insurance policy for the hobby going forward. But it's going to be superb. As I said, there will be people, I'm sure, in the chat that don't know who Chad is, but maybe I'll do a little bit of publicity about him. And he's got some really fantastic videos as well that you can access as well, and some of his talks. But he'll also go into like clownfish breeding and as well as some of the more technical breeding. So hopefully I'll have Chad should be with us, arriving a day or two before Love to Reef, and then he's with us for a few days after, and then we're hoping, or as I say, it's Angela, of course, runs most of the reef nutrition side of the business, but she'll be hopefully taking Chad on the road to visit a couple of stores that have focused on stocking the product. So you know, watch your space, Chad's coming. And I've got another really important announcement.
Okay, go on then.
But I think you know a little bit about this one, because I think you've been talking, because I've seen over. I believe that Andy from iReef will be making a trip. You know about this, making a trip from the north. And he's going to be bringing some of these, because he's new owners that he works with. They grow a few corals like me. They don't just buy them in and flog them. You know, he's got a little back room where he grows a few, and I think he's a very esteemed hobbyist as well. So Andy will be coming down to socialise with us Southerners.
And
hopefully he's going to bring me some chips and gravy. So so we know that we have Andy, and maybe if I pass over to you, Paul, do you want to tell other people about the other people that you've currently got on your list?
Andy, there's been quite a bit of chat. Do you want to go back in the chat, because there's a couple of questions in there?
Yeah, sure.
If we go through the chat, and then I will go through what's going to be there and the stuff. You know, there's still a few bits to colour in, but most of it has been sorted.
Right, what have we got here?
Right, Reefing 216. Right, yes, it start there because we missed out there. Hi, Reef 216.
Hello. John Wright.
We've already said hello.
Talk.
Hidden Reefer. There we go.
Hi, Scott.
Yeah, and then Chris. What's he
saying? Paul is out forgetting Valentine's Day. That's tomorrow anyway.
Well, I just misplaced my card.
Oh.
I've
got one, honest, somewhere.
We don't bother usually. Hi, John Steve.
That's it.
Rampy Reed for evening.
Hello, mate.
Hiya.
Right, that's it. We've done that one. That's it. Go. You
don't keep going.
Morgan's Reef. There you go. There you go. Morgan's Reef. Hi there.
Reefers.
Right. There's quite a few joined. That's it.
It's like the bird in your house.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
They would, if they burgled my house, they'd feel sorry.
Yeah. Can't wait for love to read. Well, I hope so, Foxy, because you're working it. He'll be running a stall, won't he? So, yeah.
Norfolk Reefer.
Hi, Matt. Hope you're all right, Matt. We had a great time, Paul, last week. It's not last week, week before. With Matt and his birthday. He had to wear the hat of shame for the Reefers Network. I don't know if you've seen that birthday hat, but it's quite expletive. Yeah. Got Sam, Bills. Hi, Bills.
Hello, mate. How are you?
Hiya.
Braveheart, Reefer, hi.
Hi, Rob.
Rob, you all right, mate?
Hello, mate. How you doing? Where else we got in there? Mark Needham. Hi, Mark.
Hello. How are you?
Hopefully, you're going to make it down to Love to Reef.
I think that's.
There we go. Chuckle to Really Fishing. Hello there.
Hello. How are
it's
you?
Peter. I know Peter. He's a really nice gentleman, actually, that used to come. Paul, this gentleman. He won't mind me saying he's getting on a bit. This fella. He's even older than John Wright. But he used to come and see me a lot, and I can only, I miss him actually. He used to come to Unit 4 the day I first opened the door to Unit 4. So it's lovely to see him in there. Yeah.
Oh,
nice.
Hi, Dansbury.
How are you? You're right. Oh, look, Rob's supposed to comment. That's Paul's new fish room going up behind him.
Yeah.
That 10-foot tank.
That's it.
Yeah.
And you know what? The trials and tribulations that Rob has, and also self-inflicted, because he's always bored, so he's always trying something different. That put me off. I know his tank's 13 foot, but no, there was no way I'm having a 10-foot. Even though
you know what you should do? You should do a 13-foot and 1-inch tank, just so you can say to Rob, look at that. You might have an helicopter, Rob, but you haven't got a 13-foot 1-inch tank. All right?
13-foot plus.
Yeah.
But, no, thank you, Rob. But we've had this conversation numerous times. No, I'm not having a 10-foot tank.
Yeah. So excited you guys. Been trying to find a good reef shop for ages. Thank you very much.
You definitely know where I live, Paul, because you send enough parcels. So what is that? The northeast then?
Oh, yes. I know he's always ordering.
Yeah, go there. That one.
Simon.
Hello,
Mr. Page. How are you?
Simon, who Barry had terrible trouble. Mr. Page, Paul. I'll tell you about Mr. Page. Mr. Page, you used to deal with Barry on the phone, but he's a proper Geordie sounding. I probably got that wrong. I think it might be Durham or something, but he's really. So Barry had trouble being a proper Southerner. Barry had to translate a lot of it over the phone.
Yeah, look, Grumpy Reefer. Look, he's getting out of it again.
He's always coming out. He just don't want to. He's the one that needs mine the most, Paul.
And he's changed jobs. He's meant to be getting more weekends
he's supposed
off.
to be getting weekends off.
That's right. Time at work. Yeah.
He's grumpy. He needs it. He needs help.
There you go. Right. This is where our hobby shows how awesome it is. Great charity, great people.
Oh, that's lovely. And that's what it's all about. It really is, because Paul will tell you there's no AAC does all right on the day for coral sales. There's no getting away from that. But genuinely, Paul will tell you, especially coral freaks. Paul, I doubt I made a profit on that one, did I? It's not about. It's about making sure that you're all having a lot of fun. Yeah, as well. I think this is where LFSs are going to have to go in the future, to be honest, because if we don't embrace the idea of these social reef mates, whoever ones they are, then the hobby will die, is the truth of it. Because, once upon a time we had clubs, we had reef clubs, and, we used to meet in a pub and have a few beers and that sort of thing. But I think we're in a better place actually at the minute. I mean, what with the other weekend as well, and what we love to reef and whatever. I think we're getting in a better place. There's a lot more YouTube channels now. I've only just found one of them actually. I found one the other night I'd never heard of before. I mean, I've just apologise because I know some of these people watch and follow AAC, but I'm slowly finding you all. Who else we got in there?
I think also, Paul, there was a lot more YouTubers out there. There's a lot more UK ones. When I think about, so being in the hobby only like 11 years, most of the YouTubers are actually US.
Yeah.
Do you know something? UK ones, but now there's a lot more UK ones. I'm not saying that there's obviously a lot more US than UK based on numbers, but there's probably more UK YouTubers than.
Yeah, shall I tell you why that is, Paul? I've learned that through my travels backwards and forwards from the US and what have you. The reason for that was initially let's be honest, a lot of us are a little bit shy about doing these sorts of things. Yeah, it takes a certain sort of person to think, I'll do a YouTube video, and I wasn't keen at all. And if it wasn't for being pushed by a noisy Canadian, then I probably never would have done it. So. you know, and then of course I saw you and I saw Jay and I saw these other people doing it, and that was a little bit of inspiration for me as well, that anybody can do it at any level. Yeah, it doesn't matter who you are, how good, you know, and I think that's also, I feel, these extra UK YouTube channels is also in a way expanding the hobby a little bit more as well, because people can relate to some. We don't want a whole YouTube, you know, hundreds of YouTubers that are all experts. We don't want that. You know, we've got to learn. You have to learn from the journey, and I think that's more inclusive. The idea that, you know, you can be at any level. You know, so yeah, Shamila, I hope you're excited, because no doubt. Oh, Paul, do you want to talk about Shamila?
Yeah, so Shamila, we're familiar to those people that have been Love to Reef before. Shamila run the frag swap.
Very well, I might add.
Yeah, so what happens to the frag swap is when you buy a ticket, you can then get access to a WhatsApp group. That WhatsApp group is still running and people are using it, even though it was never that intended. So the WhatsApp group is purely, when we start selling tickets, is there purely for people to swap corals and to give away corals free of charge. It's not there for selling. And I think there must have been over 100 people that swapped corals.
It's amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it went pretty well, didn't it?
We had to have 2 tanks last year. Hoping we have to have 3, because I haven't got room for 3. So I think there's probably enough room, because Laura thankfully gave us a massive tub.
What about using my plastic tub I've just lent you, Paul?
We could use that. So I've still got. So I used my first ever tank that's still in the shed last year. So yeah, we
that's your house at the minute, the shed.
Yeah, it's still down the other shed. But yeah, so I think if we had 2 big tubs, Paul, that would probably work. I just got.
Well, I've actually got 2 or 3, so we might be able to do expand the frag swap a little bit this year, right?
We can.
And,
we can do
and hopefully, Paul, will you do that swap you was going to do? He's going to swap your Scully with you was going to swap your Scully for a little bit of Monte Pora Digitata with me, but you never got round to it. I don't know why.
No, I don't. I'm not sure I will get round to that, Paul, to be fair. Call me horrible and selfish if you want. But I can't, because Jill bought that 8 years ago, so I can't.
Oh, you can't get.
Well, if you don't get her a big tank, I'm going to tell Jill that Scully's going to die if you don't get a big tank.
That's mean. That's mean, Paul, isn't it?
He's a lot of Paul, to be fair. Yeah. So frag swap is part of the heart of it. It was part of the first one as well, wasn't it? We had the frag swap, we had Exodus there. We had Shez there and we had Johnny, and that was the first ever show. Yeah.
Dan's Reef UK, good last night, and East Coast Reefer. And that was where I was going to watch last night, because I noticed that Norfolk Reefer and the East Coast Reefer and a few of them all got together last night. But I went to watch it, but I was so tired from my little jaunt away in the Canary Islands, where Angela got me on cocktails all weekend, that I sort of passed out. Yeah, but
every night.
Yeah, pretty much every night since 2 nights I've been home, and every night I've been out cold. Yeah. But I'll get round to it and watch that. Yeah. And we've got an Herbert.
I think there might be more UK live streams now than US, or if there's not, it's very close, because there are a lot of UK live streams now. Because when we started, there was no other UK live.
Well, there was none in the UK at all. Until you, Mogsy and Jay and the Bearded Brute and all that started it, really. It wasn't any. I don't think
there was a couple before. So obviously, Aaron's Aquarium used to do a live stream, and then obviously he stopped, and then we started about 6-9 months after. So there's been sporadic YouTubers.
Well, I'm gonna try and get in touch with Michael. Because I noticed he surfaced recently. Yeah, and he compared at the 2019 Coral Freaks, and he done such a good. It was like a game show when he was doing the raffle. It was like a game show. It was superb. So I'm gonna see if I can ask him, if he wants to come down and spend some time.
Yeah. Right, Dylan's in the house.
Dylan, the little toe rag, is in the house.
Toe rag. East Coast Reef still enjoyed last night.
Yeah.
Steve LeMay, good mate.
Yeah. Who else we got?
Hi, Dylan.
Here we go. Is Love to Reef beginner friendly? I'm only a few months into this world after having kept freshwater play. Absolutely, Christy. That is exactly Paul in it. That's what it's about, isn't it?
There is a mix of of people there. So there are lots of people that have started the hobby, because I get people messaging me and saying, what's it aimed for? It's aimed for anyone. So what you'll get vent. So I might as well go just a little bit about what you get in the show. So we've covered the frag swap. You have a number of people from the industry there. So obviously, Paul, you're there, and Ange from an AAC perspective. We've got let me get my list. We've got Red Sea there. We've got DD there. We've got TMC there. We've got Eco Marine. So that's Laura. So she'll be selling corals. We've got Dan from Collective Corals there. We've got iReef, obviously, with Andy and the team. We've got Tunzi there for the first time, which I'm really excited about. I know that you love Tunzi kit, and I'm a lover of Tunzi kit over the years. So that's really good. We've got also Custom Aquascape showing for the first time.
Oh, what's that gentleman's name? I know. I think I've spoken. He's a nice fella. He's been to us before, I think.
Oh,
Darren or Dan? Darren?
Dan Morgan.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's him. Yeah. That'd be good. He does some fine work.
It's Dan Morgan. So Dan will be there, because he wanted to come last year, but we didn't have any room. Yeah. And that's about it. I've got a couple of spaces free, but talking to some other people. So you've got people there from the industry. You've got loads of hobbyists there as well. I look at last year, I introduced some people that were new to hobby to some other reefers that I knew, just to get a mingling, but also you can buddy up with people, because I think if you're new to the hobby, it's a minefield, isn't it? Outside of an NFS, who do you listen to? Because you can ask the same question, you get 5 different answers. All those answers could be wrong, or all those answers could be right. That's the beauty, but also how it hurts your brain as well. So
you think about Drippy, Paul. You know, like it's a gentleman. Christy, would benefit from really talking to someone like Drippy.
I wouldn't introduce.
No. Hear me out. The reason why I say someone like Drippy, because Drippy, when he first went to Love to Reef, he barely had a tank. Yes. And look at him now. He's more or less there. Yeah, he's he's so into it, and he's a relatively new into the hobby and what have you. And there'll be lots, Christy. There'll be there. It's not full of like train spotters like me. It's there's a whole mix of people from all different walks of life, and no one's there to judge or. And if they do, they get thrown out. So there you go.
John's answered and said that.
There you go. Yeah. Look, John's there. Look, there he is. Yeah.
And Chris as well.
Yeah. That's lovely. That's good.
Yeah.
Low ego in the room. That's what I like about that. Look, people are there for the joy of the hobby and the animals. What good words.
Yeah.
What I would say is that it's the opposite to Facebook.
Yeah.
It is.
If you think on Facebook, if you go on there and say anything around what advice you need or you got this problem, you'll get a whole lot of different answers. From keyboard warriors to alphas and stuff like that, and sometimes you just get laughed at and stuff like that. So it's the opposite to that is how I would describe it.
I'll tell you something else as well, actually, Paul, that I discovered from Coral Freaks. I don't know if this has happened to you, but when I did Coral Freaks, there was a couple of people that were coming that had been warring it out on Facebook or being horrible to one another, and I was really concerned. So I contacted both of them, and I told them, you better behave yourself, because you won't get in. When they met each other that day, it was absolutely fine. Face to face, it's a whole different thing, isn't it? So there is no, as Chris said earlier, there is no it's a low ego in the room. There's no, that's the most important message in it, Paul. It's a show for anyone at any level. Yeah.
And then going back to the conversation we had earlier about mental health and stuff like
that. Tank's death home since the car accident. Any days I couldn't walk. Now, where I've got a plan of something to do daily, I'm retired from work. That's fantastic. And that's exactly where reefing can help someone, take your mind off of what you've been through, and keeping a routine. There also is an element of discipline with a reef aquarium, isn't there? We all have to do our little jobs every day, otherwise our animals suffer. So it keeps you sort of working like a clock,
Yeah. Say hello.
Oh, Joe. You go it, Joe. You better get round Paul Longhurst.
Oh yes, you need to come around. I need to sort this pipe work out.
Yeah, look at him, Joe. He's got his half his house smashed to death, waiting for you, freezing cold down here.
Yeah,
Right?
look, talking about
So wait a minute. So Joe, we do the consultation now. So the tank's going over there. Excuse me, there. Tank's going over on this wall. No, we're not having a 10-foot tank, even though that's 10 foot. So
Rob,
about 5 foot over
10
there.
foot 1
And then
inch.
we've got to
8
sort
foot.
out from there.
I went 8 foot.
Yeah.
Get your
Look.
side round here.
Reefy Reefs.
Yeah.
I run the Carpy Vikings. I'm a licensed fishing coach offering tuition for mental health.
Oh.
Mind off to refer people. I'll tell you what, Reefy Reefs. I don't know. Do I know you? I don't know. But would you please contact either myself or Paul, because might be a bit of a chat involved there with regards to Love to Reef, because if you have got something going, that might be something else we could talk about for the future, or
really
if not for the
Yeah, so if you want to either message Paul at AAC or me, Fish Palace on Instagram for the easiest one, or Love to Reef on Instagram is probably the easiest way to contact myself or Paul Fry of AAC, and then we can have a chat. That'd be really good to get a different perspective. Cool, like it.
Right, what we got
Right,
now?
well, we've actually got, let's go back up to Steve's comment there. Right, I think he's right. So we've got, it's probably a bit more about Love to Reef, but just while we were catching up a little bit about noise, I think these are the comments resulting of the noise. Machine gun pumps, Paul. See your sport. Steve, he's getting on a bit and old. There's a lot of,
as well.
Oh, he's my torment, Paul, Steve, when he comes in, but he moans about how much everything is all the time and all of that, but there was a time where pumps did sound like machine guns, and then what we got here, we got Wakefield Reef. Guess what? I still do use 1060s too. In fact, there's a 1060 that I own. Are you ready for this, Paul? There's no lies.
What's a 1060?
Exactly. Let me explain, because you're you're a newbie reefer, really.
Oh, thank you for that. I'm not an OG, am I? Yeah.
No, an Eheim 1060 was possibly the best pump ever made, and still remains so. However, it does burn 65 watts and only produce you 2,250 litres. So it's a heavy pump. It's the big square ones. They were the standard pump for a reef tank 20-something years ago. But I still own a pump from when I was 18, and it's still driving the critter system at AAC. Yeah. That's how reliable they are. They never break, but they are a bit hot compared to today's modern pumps. But they are superb and reliable. There we go. What we got there. Referencing Eheim filters, find me a better canister filter than the one with the air intake. Sounded like a Harrier jump jet, but unmatched. Absolutely, and that's what I mean. Some of these bits of kit, Paul, that people are making reference to here, are honestly, nothing comes close to the quality. And I'm the retailer, remember? I can speak from experience. The quality that we used to see versus today. But the problem you've got is those Eheim 1060s, for example, or those a lot of the original canister filters are made in Germany, which in today's modern world isn't very cost effective if we want cheap goods. So you have to do it. But they do still do small batch runs, I believe, of it's now not called the 1060, it's called the 1260, but they are an incredibly good pump, not changed in design for at least 28 years. That'll give you an idea.
I've got to say, with Eheim, I've still got Eheim pumps. I think Eheim pumps are really good. They're really reliable. Yeah. They are a little bit bulky. And same with the heaters. I've still got I still use the glass heater that I got 10 years ago on one of the tanks, and that's really good. As I must admit, I don't use it in a tank after 10 years, but it was running in a tank for 7.5 years, 7 years in that tank. So I think Eheim's a really good brand. I've got the auto feeder, which is Eheim, the battery operated one. That's really good as well. So I'm a lover of Eheim. I think it's not one that's really mentioned much in the hobby.
I know. I don't know why, because when I've never visited it, but I know someone that visited the factory at Eheim. I think they've got 2 or 3 factories around the world, and they're enormous. In fact, one of them is run by robots. Yeah, in true German fashion. Yeah, but these people, the production on some of these items, and it's probably one of the largest companies in the world that produces aquatic equipment. To give you an idea,
there must be more fresh water. Then to be that size, you'd have to be in the freshwater market for starters.
Yeah, they're massively in the freshwater market.
Yeah,
they're biggest thing.
As well. Yeah, I've had pumps of the fresh water, and
little comment here from Stevie Fox. Chad's obviously Chad's well known across the water, across the pond.
Yeah.
And Steve no doubt would have either seen a talk or have spoken to Chad before, but he's an all-round nice guy.
Rob as well.
There you go, Rob. There we go. They know their shit. There you go. Yeah. So
Darren.
Oh,
hi,
Darren. How you doing, pal?
Hey, hi, Darren.
That's it. If a phyto keeps the house, perfect. You get exactly. Well, that's one of the big things, isn't it? Isochrys is very, very difficult. I tried it and crashed it within a few weeks. Anyone can have a go at your Nanocropolis phyto, but Chad will be your man. That's the sort of question. If you want to get some questions ready for him that you can present at Love to Reef, and I'm sure Chad will be able to answer the ins and outs of a duck's arse about isochrys. So.
I think for me, you see a lot of comments around using phyto, dosing phyto, when should you do it, what should you look out for, and I think there's probably a lot to learn on that, and even just the basics of understanding that would be great to do that, because people dose phyto because they dose it, and there's not a massive amount. I don't think there's a massive amount of knowledge.
I'll give you a little fact here, Paul. Right, about this. It's not me trying to sell it. All right, because this is a neutral. But some people may have seen that. Where's the camera? There we go. Some people may have seen that Phyto Feast, right? Phyto Feast is a dead product. It's not live.
It's not live.
Right. But one of the things about Reef Nutrition that makes them an extremely special company, and no one knows how to do it either. And I've spoke to Tom Verhoeven in the hatchery at De Jong and everything. And he said he's looked at Phyto Feast under a microscope, and the cells are all still intact as though that it was live. It's a very difficult process to do that. So a lot of people think they've got to be adding live phyto, but it's not necessarily true. So maybe Chad can dispel some myths and things about about phytoplankton as well. Right, Surrey Reefer, did everyone see the amount of aquaculture scholars hitting the shelves this week? Yep, we've got some coming tomorrow. I think we've got 9 or 10 coming tomorrow, but I spoke to TMC today. Some of you might have seen a post up earlier. I had Brian Chaff and Derek Thompson, who's responsible for all the livestock importation into the UK. And I had a chat with them today. One of the really interesting things about this, the world that we're starting to move into, is very much like the world of parrots and birds and things. When a parrot gets sold, you have to have CITES papers with it, etc. Well, TMC, which I have to say finally, because I've tried encouraging this around about 5 years ago, when we see some of these really special animals like Acanthophilia, right, some of the legality behind them isn't all that. Yeah, but however, once I had some Acanthophilia from Eastern Australia, and they're really rare from there, the multicoloured ones. And I requested the permit at the time so that when I go to sell it, the customer had the permit to know that it was legally imported in a correct way. Yeah. Well, the scollies, the aquacultured scollies that will be available in shops across the country this week, all come with a permit, an identifiable permit, which means that when should you as a hobbyist ever go to sell that scolly, you later on, say you have a tank change or whatever, you'll be able to give them that scolly with that bit of paperwork and know that it's absolutely unique. Yeah. So is that Jill? Tell her to say hi. Hi, Jill. How you doing, Jill? Is she there?
Yes.
He's going to get a big tank, Jill. Don't worry.
Oh.
A big tank?
Yeah. A big tank is coming. All right, Jill.
What is a big tent?
No. Well, you might as well live in a tent. You might as well have a tent, Jill, because you're living in a shed.
No, the big tank's fine. You know that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, that scolly that you got him for his birthday, whatever it was, it will die unless it gets a big tank.
There you go. Can't have that.
All right, Right, where are we
Where
now?
are we? Right, we've got
Right.
Krusty that's joined us.
Krusty, hi Krusty, how you
Hello,
doing?
Mr. Wong.
David,
Hello,
how you
Mr.
doing?
Hi, David.
Ah, Lee's in the house. Hello.
Hello, Lee, how you
Hi, Lee.
doing? Yeah, there we go.
What was
I think
that?
that's about that place where Jim. Can you fix it to me for flying a helicopter? Yeah. I think
that
we're there for the moment.
Yeah.
I think we stop there. Right, Paulie, have we got anything more to talk about? Love to Reef, apart from the fact it's on the 17th of May. We've got the 2 guests thus far that are standing out for us, but there might be another person.
Is it? 'Cause it's the first I've heard of
That's
it.
not the first.
It is.
We have talked
Oh, is
about
it
it
really?
before.
It's the first I've
Jill-
heard of it.
Jill's on
Thank
the
you.
Jill's on the door.
Oh, chill. Chill. I'm sorry about that. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Paul, you've got a
Right.
slight shade of
You've
red.
gone very
there,
red,
mate.
Paul.
You've got to be red.
we'll have a domestic later. I never know
Yeah.
what Jill's going to say.
Yes.
Well,
I
she's
go
told a
for
lot of
it
people
now.
now.
I'll stick around in case I find out anything else.
We're not getting a big Right, thank you.
Right. Well then, Paul. Now,
Let's move on.
well, when you go to discuss with Jill whether you're allowed to do Love to Reef, yeah,
She's like,
then maybe it's on May the 17th. Yeah,
yeah,
we
maybe.
know that Chad Clayton's coming. There might be another person that I'm looking at potentially for your talks lineup. I'm trying to help you with as well.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say the word suntan cream. That might ring a bell.
Oh, right, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That'd be an experience, yeah.
So there's somebody else there as well. We're also hoping, I believe, that TMC showcase some live fish, or not?
No.
Am I going to do it?
We need to have a conversation about it.
Let's talk about that, I think. Yeah.
The people don't know about that yet. No. Oh my God, this is a proper mess tonight, isn't it? This one, isn't it?
Organised.
Yeah.
I spoke to him earlier in the week, and I need to have a conversation with you about it.
Right. As long as I buy them all, they don't care.
No. We probably need to speak to Brian.
Okay. All right. No worries. But the theme is
I think
aquaculture.
we can sort it out. It's how we sort it out.
Okay. All right. No worries.
Okay.
The devil's in the detail, even though we haven't even got to that yet.
Okay. All right. So there's lots still that we've got to do, basically. But essentially, you've booked the hall. The hall's confirmed. And we've got a date. We've got definitely, we really wanted to unite the North, and we're really pleased that Andy Jackson and his owners are going to try and make an attempt down south. I'll have to go and spoil them somewhere when they come down. Well, and that's about it really for Love to Reef, isn't it?
For now, there's a few other bits that I need to sort out and agree, and we'll kind of launch that as and when those things are agreed. So I've probably got space.
What numbers are we doing this year?
About anything between 200 and 250.
Whoa, that's car park time.
It depends on.
I think with Coral Freaks, right, we had up to, I think it was 300. That was including people working in the room. But I think we have to be mindful of the parking situation and things like that, don't we?
It's the space as well, Paul. When I look at last year, it was comfortable. I probably wouldn't put any more vendors in there, but you could probably put another 20 or 30 people.
What did we do last year? Was it 150?
No, it's
Yeah,
200.
Was it 200?
Yeah, we ended up selling.
Was it 204 or something?
There was, I think, 202 people.
Yeah.
Sold 215 tickets. I always think usually 10% are not going to turn up, but the turnout, when you ask people about shows and how many people don't turn up, there's usually 10, 20%. But all of the shows, it's been a handful. So that was like 10, 12 people didn't turn up, which I knew some of those people weren't coming. So the turnout, to get 95% of people turning up for an event is actually really, really good. So I'd probably try and sell. I think if you get another 20 people there, I'd be happy with that. If you get more than that, I'm then thinking if you've got too many people, there's a bit of a rush, especially in the morning when it first opens. So I'd rather be comfortable. And I'm under 200 is a nice number. If it goes about another 20, 30 over, I'm cool with that. And if it doesn't, so what? So that, I don't know if that answers the question, John, but it'll be minimum of 200, maximum of say 220, 230.
Yeah.
Put that comment out actually, Koopski. The hobby needs it needs to keep it alive as well. Absolutely, yeah.
There you go. And it's also coming
and promotes it. Yeah. What's Lee got there? Same as everything. That's it.
The other thing I'd like to do, Paul, is if I know there's enough people there that have been in the hobby less than say 12 months,
yeah,
maybe something we can do with kind of newer reefers.
Yeah, we could.
And so we, Kirsty and others that because I think you never stop learning, but I think you've got that Christy, sorry, you've got that first 12 months, and especially the first 6 months, a learning curve of what you got. So if there was, even if it's like 5 or 6 people, up to 10 people that have been in the hobby less than 12 months, and I can probably find out from those people. I speak to all of them via messaging and stuff like that. If I know they've been in the hobby for less than that, then I can maybe ask them if they'd like to have a working session or a get together with some people as a group to have a chat. And if there's enough people, I'd hire another room down the other end if they want a half hour, 45-minute session as a meet and greet with them, and also for them to ask questions, and then they can feed off of one another, other people. Something I need to think about how we would do it. But if I can identify the numbers, then that's really good. Then if there's new hobbyists, they've got a place where they can have a Q&A or something related to. We could
get Drippy to man that one.
We can do. That is an idea. I take it as an idea. He's actually in the chat now. I've seen him.
He's just popping up. We're getting there. Right, let's do a bit more chat and then we'll move on to nano tanks. All right. So let's have who we got.
Darren McGinty, frag shop thing. Yep. Shamila, I completely forgot I got married since then.
Yeah. Oh, well,
congratulations.
What was John writes there? Let's just go, John. We can't ignore a comment from John.
Every day, apparently.
Well, that's absolutely true, John, and it's something that I know that me and Rob, a few words. Every single day is a school day in this hobby. It don't matter whether you've been in it for like 300 years or 3 minutes. Every day is a school day. Yeah. Hey,
made it home, yay!
So we saw Lolly earlier on. I don't know if anyone follows the Pink Reefer Lolly, but she popped by to see us earlier on.
Cool, hi.
Yeah, I don't know any experts, just experienced people, and most of them learn from their mistakes. And that is absolutely the only reason why I can pass on any information is because I've made all of them mistakes beforehand.
Yeah.
So yeah,
needs adding to the LTR group.
Yeah. What else we got there? Very horrible support, a community coral swap, the store owners. Yeah, I mean, right. So this is the thing, right? So let's talk about that just for a second. Yeah, when it first started going on, I spoke to another store that was doing a sort of frag swap up north. I won't name any particular names, but one of the things that did absolutely aggravate the owner at the time was wasn't so much the hobbyists that were swapping. It was people that were known vendors or sheds or whatever that were bringing corals to the event and then trying to sell them. And that's something I don't like. The whole idea or concept of what Paul is trying to do is so that, I used to swap frags with people, I still do. In fact, Paul recently swapped something. Well, not swapped it. I took it. It was one way only for me. But, generally, the whole idea of this frag swap thing is for you to share your genes, if you know what I mean, around the circuit and what have you. And, that's of no competition to a store at all. We've all got overgrowth. Even AAC has overgrowth, but I have to sell it, unfortunately, to pay for the bills. But the reality is that it has no effect, Harry, for me. I'd rather see happy faces up and down the country enjoying themselves. And if you're all enjoying yourselves, whether you're swapping corals or not, that's fine by me. I think the only thing that me and Paul are not keen on is that literally at one of the Love to Reef events, someone was brazen enough who runs a shed, shall we say, not a bona fide store that isn't licensed, was parked right outside AAC selling corals. And subsequently that person's not invited anymore. So there does have to be a line, a line drawn in the sand, but the swap I'm all for. I'll tell you what, I'll go as far as to say this year, I'll even put some frags without any reason to swap them. But I'll put a few frags into that frag swap because I know last year that there was a lot of corals left at the end and stuff like that. And there was a few new reefers about, and they were given corals. They didn't even have anything to swap. And I think even that's a nice thing to do. It's an encouragement, isn't it? You know, so
it was really a lot of people. So a lot of people on the site will give away SPS, and there'll be like the stuff that grows really quick. So I know that a lot of people that take the SPS are trying SPS for the first time, and they're kind of dipping their toe. So it's a really good way of trying SPS that are really tank hardened. And I know, Paul, they buy SPS from yourself out of the frag trays there from the farm, and they're really hardy as well. So people find it really useful to take on, you know, cat's paw and all those kind of Pasillipora and things like that grow really quick. But they're, for someone starting out on SPS, it can be quite daunting. And starting off SPS for the first time, it's not. But I can see how why, you know, we all felt that when you first get your SPS, you're thinking, oh my god, you know, is it going to die on me?
Well, there's quite a few species which are very forgiving when you make the mistake with phosphate control and things like that. So yeah, I mean, it's a very important element of the community is the frag swap. So you know, there's no problem here from AAC, and I would encourage other dealers, if they're watching, to give it a go, because I don't think it takes sales away from you. That's what I'm trying to say. You know, if someone really wants a special coral, they'll buy it anyway. Yeah, but if they just want to trade, you know, think it's going to happen anyway. So embrace it, I would say, to other stores that are out there. We've got
Reef King on now.
I need you need a new tank. That's what he meant to say. No, you don't. No. Your tank's looking good. Stay with it. Carry on DJing. You're doing well, son. You're like 4 months in without getting a new tank.
It is. I think it's the longest since I've known him not to have a new tank. So I think it's probably the longest one. I think it is. It might not.
I reckon secretly in the kitchen or something, he's got loads of other old tanks, but he doesn't want to disappoint us by swapping it now. You know, so
the only complaint I've got, he doesn't take requests. So on Instagram, when he puts his music on, I'm not a lover of some of the tunes, but he won't take requests.
I see your comment the other day. Yeah, do you take requests?
Yeah. We should do, really, shouldn't we? Get him on Friday nights, you know, after the live stream that happens on a Friday night. We should move over to Carl DJing, I think. Yeah.
Do you know what? He'll do that now.
Yeah, he will. He will. I guarantee 10 o'clock Friday, it will be Happy House or Techno or something. Yeah. Right. That's it. AAC Mike is quietly around, and I was talking about dipping toes back into marine again. Don't think he has a time. Mike is quietly around. I'm not sure what you mean there, hidden reefer, but I'm not sure. But yeah, okay, all right. That.
And also, if you haven't hit the like button, then please press like.
Oh yeah.
Subscribe to AAC. Subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, right. We've got loads of comments. Drippy is nuts. Go and put that one up. He'll read that later on. Is he in the stream, Drippy?
He is. Well, he's there.
Drippy's nuts. Where is he?
He's definitely there. If you go down, he's
Drippy's a lovely guy.
Yeah. I need a chaperone to put that button up, put that there, Christy.
He's a cool dude.
Yeah, but then go there. Look, do I need a chaperone to talk to? Yes. Yeah.
He's lovely.
Coral head.
And that's why you need it.
Yeah. Right. That's what's his name, innit?
Yeah.
Of course it is. Corey, we'll come to you in a while, mate. We obviously thank you very much, you and Steve, for the donation for the Wheel of Misfortune tonight. I better get that in there. Thank you so much, Corey. Sadly, I can't come to your show. I know they've got a show in Germany, Paul, that they set on. Niles put it on. I was going to go, but this is off the. I was going to go to the show, but they're going to be busy working at the show, and I want to see Niles. So I'm hoping to head on over to Germany sometime in September and spend a bit of time with white corals and Niles and so forth. So. Corey, thank you very much. Is Christy single? Asking for a bit. Oh, no. They're
trying to pair them up.
They're trying to pair them up, yeah.
Right.
What else we got? There we go.
What's that?
Jay's Real Reef is on the door, so no messing about, boys. That's right. He'll be on the door.
Here he is.
There he is. Wagwan,
Slashers.
Sloshes. Nice to see you've listened to me, Paul, and got the class up front and centre. In Flanger.
Evening,
Just
Drippy.
waiting for the naughty comments to
No,
follow.
he's got
But
to
there we
behave
are.
himself.
Behave
He's
yourself.
got to behave himself.
That's it.
Oh dear.
Right, here we go. 9.5 feet then. There you go, Paul.
There you go.
Joe's already designing it for you as we
It's an
speak.
It's an option.
Sean. Hello, mate. How you doing, Sean? Right, where we go.
Oh, there's a lot of chat between everyone.
Right, there's a lot of chat
yeah.
between everyone. We'll come back to the comments shortly,
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, we'll leave it there.
Right, let's give right Nano Reefs.
Yes.
I just thought we have to have some subject material, don't we, Paul? Otherwise, it just all it falls apart. So I just thought we'd do a little bit about Nano Reefs, and I think from the discussions that me and you've been having about Nano Reefs, about where Nano Reefs, any advice, can a tank truly be ick free? Well, we'll come to that question another time. So we talk about nanos. That one's a very in-depth one. We can do a whole live stream on that one, I'm sure, but that's something that needs a great deal of in-depth discussion. But in a word, if you've been in it as long as I have, chances are you're all going to get white spot at some point, no matter how hard you QT everything. It will happen by mistake. It'll be a snail that brings it in, or you've got to be so vigilant. Unless you've got loads of isolated systems set up, chances are at some stage in your marine reefing history, you're going to encounter a disease organism. It's how you deal with it. That's the real issue. Same with coral diseases and pests and viruses and bacterial issues. You're all at some stage going to encounter that. It's how you learn to deal with these things. But anyway, back to nanos. So the conversations we've been having, Paul, are regarding nano reefs and how far they've come. I just thought we would, most people always think of a nano reef as being a sort of entry level beginner sort of setup. That's how they see it. But I think that's purely down to the fact that that's the cheapest point of entry into the hobby, but not necessarily the best entry point from a it's a very hard learn no reef, Paul. We were talking about the fact about water volume versus stocking densities versus all of that. So what I was going to talk about predominantly tonight is the more complex side of nano reefs and how far they've come and the different styles of nano reefs. And I actually see nano reefs really in general these days as more of a advanced type point in the hobby, because a nano reef can be anything you want it to be. I think initially most people may get into a nano reef because it's say the right entry price point for them, and they'll experiment with the usual classics. This is the typical thing that gets said to us in stories. I want it for me Nemo. I want a Nemo. That's the way that we perhaps encounter someone in the first part of the hobby. And it's usually a clownfish with a toadstool, with a mushroom rock, with a whatever, and that's great, because they're trying it. But of course, as time progresses, very often people's taste changes in corals and invertebrates. And the next minute they want a clam, or the next minute they'll want an acropora, or the next minute and these animals, of course, are far more testing than perhaps some of the other animals. And, and I think that's the point, is that, a nano reef can be whatever you want it to be, but they can be incredibly demanding. And if we don't run our nano reefs, with a great deal of knowledge as such, then it's very easy to fall over with a nano reef, is what I would say, But I think at first what we'll do is let's flash up a few images. I think I'm going to just put an image up of a man that's quite well known in the hobby circuit. He's not quite so well known in live streams and chats and YouTube, but if I put this up, right, this is a picture of what I believe to be one of the most interesting nano reefs I've ever seen. And this has been created by a gentleman called Neil Rowland from Hertfordshire Reef Club. And he specialises in NPS corals. That's his love and joy, and those, so NPS, for those that are new, like Christy, NPS corals means non-photosynthetic. It means that none of the coral animals are gaining nutrition from light. lighter courses of, light loving corals are relatively easy to maintain in captivity. Non-light loving corals and filter feeding animals are very, very difficult to keep into captivity. And I know, Paul, I don't know if you've got a picture of our NPS aquarium you can have in the ready for me.
I will get that.
So anyway, this particular aquarium was actually created with very little store-bought equipment. Neil, in actual fact, crafted this aquarium himself. He found the cylinders, I believe, from some sort of floristry type thing. He built all of his own filtration. In fact, the only things he actually bought from me, he even built his own protein skimmer, I'll tell you. But the only things that, because he wanted everything clear, you'll notice if you look around, these are all acrylic. And he actually built this via materials that he found in other walks of life, like floristry and things like that, I believe. And the only thing he bought really from me to drive this thing, he bought a little return pump, and he's got a circulation pump, and above he has a radiant. But other than that, all of that creation there was actually custom made by the owner, Neil Rowland. I think it's an exquisite little bit of art. I mean, it looks like sort of a Willy Wonka's chocolate factory thing. Is that the right one?
Well, you've got to remove the old one, haven't you?
Right, okay. So if I go like that, right, Paul, I don't know, is that the right one? Let's have a look.
No, it's not, because I've lost the screen.
Oh, okay. So anyway,
I can't see you, so you carry on talking and I'll find the screen in a minute.
Okay, so anyway.
So wait a minute, no, I'll find the screen. I'll share it now with me.
Okie doke. Right.
What one am I sharing? It's the shop, is it?
The shop MPS again. We'll just finish off with some of the more difficult side of Nano Reefs. I think that was the main drive of what we were going to discuss. So basically a Nano Reef can be whatever it is that you want it to be. It can be as complex or as basic as you want to be. I mean, this is my ridiculous one. So there was one in store that I've sort of done just around about Christmas. The animals are temporary somewhat because those few customers that we have that keep MPS corals, they are allowed to buy from that one display. We don't sell from our displays in general, but the idea of this is to show that you can have a very different looking Nano Reef to the usual fare. And then there was another one Paul wanted to talk about, which was the mangrove thing as well. I don't know if that's
the
one.
Reef Castle one, right? Let me find.
Which is just behind me, which you can see really. But the they don't have to be Nano Reefs. How can I put it? There's no one tank to be a Nano Reef. You'll see a lot of similar looking Nano Reefs that are mixed reefs. But as you just recently did a YouTube video, Paul, didn't you, on dosing Nano Reefs, didn't you? About again, it was almost going down. Don't have to be very expensive to still be pretty good by just manually dosing, for example, and things. And what was the context of that video?
Yeah, so I've simplified the tank. So there's no one right or wrong way, I think, of running a nano, you said. But I've seen a lot of nanos recently, certainly the Red Sea ones, where you've got a cabinet that's empty. And people put loads of kit in there. You see Apex, forehead dosers, all kinds of stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm thinking, if I'm new to the hobby and I look at that, the kit that's in the cabinet is probably more expensive than the tank. And then some. So I've simplified my tank to the point that I've got one power head, got the return pump. I've taken the skimmer out. I was going to take the skimmer out anyway. And I'm manually dosing. So I'm dosing all for reef, which again is an all-in-one. And those people used to follow us on the live stream. We talked about all for reef, God knows how many times. I love it as a product. You dose it you dose it, and it's got all the elements that you need. So I manually dose the all for reef. I also dose magnesium because I've got lots of LPS, and I think they're sucking up a lot of the magnesium.
So you're a bad advert, Paul. Right, I would say that you could be classed as a bad advert, and there is one or two out there in the Instagram world that I would say are bad. So I don't know if you've ever seen H2O Reefer on Instagram, Alex. Yeah, what an amazing nano tank. Now he had around about 6 to 8 torch corals in a Fluval 52 at one stage. It was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
But he was so on the ball with it. He made it very difficult, not for him, but like you both experienced aquarist, so you was able to cope with it and understand it. But I think sometimes, you know, someone who's coming new into the hobby, they see these amazing nano reefs and think, yeah, I'll have a chunk of that, like my MPS aquarium or, you know, your torch coral aquarium. They both could be classed as almost like a bad advert for the beginner, new beginners.
But you think about the problems I've had with that, Paul. It took me 19, 20 months to dial it in properly. Now, that was my own fault because I didn't use live sand. I got dinos. I didn't treat it properly. I neglected a little bit from a maintenance perspective. But since I've gone to a maintenance of a 5 litre, a 5 litre and a 10 litre water change in a week, 3 times a week, it's transformed it. And then toothbrush, scrubbing the rock. That's how I got rid of it. And also some bacteria as well to get it. But now I'm in that place where I do something small to it every day. It doesn't take much.
Well, it's interesting you say that. I spoke to, there's a gentleman that I know that you know that's local to you, I think, Stephen Bates, who's got one of the finest Gonapora dedicated nano reefs. I actually asked him some pictures, but I don't think he's seen my message. But the Stephen's tank, I was having a real good discussion with him the last time I see him in store about what he does to keep that tank, because gonnies can be a pain in the arse anyway at the best of times, but somehow Stefan manages to pull off this aquarium in a very small volume of water. I think he's about to upgrade as it happens, but he's had it for quite...
I think it's the same one that I've got. So it's 100 litre. I've only got 2 Goniopora, an Alveopora and a Bernard Pora from that kind of genus. He's got glass to glass.
20 or 30 gonnies, I think he's got at least, and they're all high end, the best ones you can get.
Amaze balls and all those kind of ones.
He told me like this is what he does, and this might be a bit of a so it's the discipline with a nano reef. So very much like my one there. So that one there, you're talking about the staff. I have to say it's the staff, not me, but you know I create them, and then the staff have to look after them a lot of the time. But that particular tank there, that has to have a 50% water change weekly. Wow. It's also got a nano mat on it as well to try and, you know, which is far more efficient than the skimmer I might add on it. But you can imagine the levels of that's fed about 6 times a day, with various different particle sizes of food. So that tank, there's an awful lot of work to keep it looking half decent. And even then, there are tight days where it doesn't look as good as other days. And it will be very much true of Neil Rowland's MPS cylinder system that we just showed a minute ago. So I think it's, you know, one of the most important messages, I think, really is not to make it too difficult if you're starting out, is to accept the limitations of the volume that you've bought. And going back to Stefan, when I spoke to him about it, I said, what do you do to keep that looking like that? And to be honest with you, he doesn't do anything other than apply discipline, and he's changing water out on it. Every week he does a water change. He uses the Coral Essentials range on it and doses 1 ml, I believe, of manganese a day or something ridiculous.
Yeah, I do.
And he settles at a DKH of around about 1.025, so salinity. So as I said, I think when we talk nano tanks, it's about accepting the discipline that comes with them. Because, of course, if you had those gonnies in a tank that was 1,000 litres, you would probably have greater stability and you wouldn't be needing to do those such heavy water changes and so forth. I think definitely cracked the code.
I think so. The Goniopora that I've put in this tank was in a bigger tank with 2 lights. What I've noticed since I've put in there, because it's quite big, it's bigger than a tennis ball. There's quite a lot of die-off round the bottom because
it's quite normal.
It's not getting the light from 2 lights. It's only getting 1 light. So again, in a bigger tank, you've got, unless you've got over that tank, something like a Stratton or something like that, where you've got, or the Phillips Coral Care, where you've got light from end to end. Lighting's more challenging as well when you've got a tank with 1 light, because you're not getting it from multiple. I know you get reflection off the glass, but it's easy if you've got 2 or 3 lights, because you're then getting lighting from all sides. So I've noticed some die-off around the bottom of that, because it's not getting the light that it did in the other tank.
Yeah, but interestingly, Paul, in the wild, Goniopora, I've seen them in actual fact. Me and Angela, there's a particular hotel near in Master Alarm that we visited, and I've snorkeled over, I ain't joking, car-sized lumps of gonies, yeah, labata, Goniopora labata, which is a big branching, thick, heavy set one, and all of that stem, there's only the live tissue on the end. You have to remember, a lot of times we're looking for answers in the hobby, but in actual fact, you know, skeletal, that's how a reef is formed. You know, there will always be some tissue loss below, but if you can encourage light from all angles, that's a sensible thing to do. But you know, they are. But certainly, I think with nano reefs in particular, they can be whatever you want them to be. And recently, I set up my own little nano reef, as I've been talking about. I don't know if there is a better picture of that somewhere.
I've got the picture here somewhere. Let me.
Yeah, but basically, that tank's not had a water change since the day I set it up. So we've just talked about tanks that need water changes, and now I'm telling you about a tank that don't need any water changes. So that particular tank is only topped up. It's only, there we are. That's it there. That tank is set up like it's a biotope. And, you know, it's deliberately set up with very, very few fish. I don't want to be water changing. I don't need another tank in my life that's going to, that needs a lot of maintenance. So that thing there just gets a glass clean and topped up with water, evaporative water. It's based on a true biotope. Every single animal in it is from the Caribbean region. You know, and I find that more interesting, and I'll be honest with you, than my big mixed reef tank as the main display, because it is more true to nature. So biotopes, I think, are where nano reefs score really heavily, because it gives you the ability at low cost option to be able to say, right, I want to do a NEM tank. I think you've got a picture of that one as well. I want to do a NEM aquarium. I want to do, you know, let's say I just want to do a clownfish and bubble tip tank, for argument's sake, that type of thing, you know. So, you know, nano reefs I know have become more and more popular. And I'm actually seeing there's a guy over in America that some of the viewers might have seen called Coral Morphologic or something like that. I forget his name now. He's a really, maybe Corey will know who I'm talking about. He'll know him and whatever. But he lives in Florida. And he's got about 25 nano reefs, and every one of them is fantastic. Every one of them, and they're all individually, I believe, filtered. So he has 25 lots of nano reefs to look after, which is a tall order.
Wow. Yeah.
But yeah, one of the things actually, we'll dive out of here a minute. There's something really nice I just want to put up on from the chat poll, which I think this is stunning. How about that?
Wow.
That'd be fantastic, Andy. You know, that's a really kind gesture. If you can't find 50, any donation would do to the swap, and that'll be really fantastic. You know, I think, Andy, actual fact, you know, things like the Xenia, believe it or not, a lot of people hate, you know, I love pulse coral, but for beginners particularly, or people that just want to try a few soft corals, that's ideal. And you can't beat Hirsuta, of course, or Stylos for a hardy SPS. So great choices. Thank you so much, Andy. That was really good. Bigger tray for the what was that? We'll go back there. Andy Jackson, last After Reef, there wasn't enough room to house all the swaps and giveaways. Pretty sure they couldn't cope with a donation of 50 frags. Well, you know, I think we managed. You know, there wasn't anything left. So, you know, on there.
We just need tray.
Yeah. Right. Oh, Carl, he's going to be DJing 10 p.m. Carl Reef King Instagram. If you like your house music on a Friday night, he'll be over on Instagram DJing.
Oh dear.
What we got there? Agree with John. Right, I love the softy tank. Oh, that's to do with one of the main tanks in the display. But that again is not a biotope as such, but it was specifically done.
And I tell you what, Paul, that's an underrated powerhead or wave box. The Tunzi wave box.
Yeah.
Hardly ever talked about. I only ever see it, obviously, in the shop.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant wave maker.
Yeah. I mean, they came out around about 15 years ago, actually, the Tunzi. In fact, I had one on the first ever display tank in Unit 4. I've always loved them. I just like that. It's how, actually, if you ever go to a swimming pool that's got a wave machine in it, it works no different to that. You know, the pump, it's a very simple thing. It's a box with a pump in it, controlled. But what's clever about a Tunzi wave box, it's intelligent. It measures the distance between the length of the aquarium. Yeah. Yeah. And as the pump turns on, it sucks the water out the box. Then the pump turns off, and then it sucks the water in the box. The water naturally carries in.
We
the
had
box.
one at home,
Like
didn't
that,
we?
yeah. So I've actually had tons wave boxes at least for 20 years of my career on and off, I'd say. You know, so I love them. I'm not sure what this comment means.
Mike Aaron's.
Yeah, Michael Aaron's. I'm not sure
He's
what.
referring back to that other
I don't
comment.
know what the other comment was. I can't remember what that was. Okay, but we'll come back to that if we get chance. Ah, old pal.
I know. I'm seeing him now.
Yeah, there we go. Stu's Reef. We'll just say a little hello to their Stu's Reef.
Just to clarify, I'm not single, Christy. But...
All right, hold on a minute. Trippy, that's it, mate. You're done.
She's the one that came in the other day, wasn't she?
That's it.
Yeah.
No, you're locked out, Trippy. Coral advice only, okay?
Yeah.
And talking of which, there he is.
Jill, do you know what? Jill's piping up now about Drippy. Oh, for God's sake.
That's
Who is?
They all
Jill.
love him,
Jill.
didn't they? I think Christy's missing out, really.
Coming up in your pajamas.
We'll meet him.
I'm in my pajamas, never mind. Poor little thing.
Yeah.
He's not a poor little thing. That's the
He
last thing he is.
He's a poor little thing.
Oh,
He's
Funny,
lovely.
Alan.
He's
Oh,
lovely. Yes,
isn't
he's
he?
lovely. Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. He's an all-rounder. That's why.
All right, enough of that, Trippy. Leave it out there.
We're
That's
just
it.
jealous.
That's it. Yeah. Agree with. Let's see. What's this, Mogsy? Oh, pal. Agree with Paul. Back for sure. Nano Reefs are a start off plus an advancement as well. You can make this hobby as difficult. Exactly that, and that was what we were trying to get across. I believe. I think really, if I'd have just said that, Mogsy, I could have. That we could have done that section and just thrown it in the bin.
you know what? Like, when Mogsy used to do the live stream, he wouldn't be as straightforward as that. He'd waffle on for 10 minutes to say that bloody statement, and then after time you couldn't hear him.
Yeah, well, I wonder, Mogsy, do you maybe you want to join us one evening? Time to get you back in the saddle, eh? You know, maybe, yeah. Right. So going back to where were we? I think that was predominantly right. Paulie, do you want to do one of the giveaways? What time are we? Where are we?
It's gone 9.
It's gone 9.
We should do, we do both of them because I'm going to have to go soon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Why? You've only had a house to stop being burgled and no dinner. I mean, what?
Dinner, bless
And living in a shed.
Other than that, it's perfect.
Yeah. Right.
Do that? Right. Okay. So the way it works is you've got to think of a comment, Paul Orange, for people to put into the comments. I will then pull the names out and put them on the wheel of misfortune. And then only one entry at a time, because I know some people are keen to put 2. And then we'll spin the wheel and we will do the 2. So what's the giveaways? We've got the NIOS.
Right, let's start with...
What's the NIOS one? Just explain what it is.
Right, the NIOS is the new product range from NIOS. It's super concentrated. I don't know if anyone's actually bought this already, but I can't. It's unbelievable. We're talking about... so it's basically, for those that are new as well, let's make sure we include all. This is basically a buffering solution, your calcium, your alkalinity, stuff like that. Probably for someone keeping a few soft corals, you know, it may not be necessary yet, but certainly if you're in your stony corals or your mixed reef tank, this is where a dosing solution like this really comes in handy. This one bottle contains 20,000 DKH. Unbelievable. So and it's very super concentrated. It's definitely taking the market by storm at the moment. I've seen a massive amount of sales already on this. As soon as it was launched, with I know Connor's had to reorder already, I think. So just to give you an idea, in 100 litres, 10 mil will raise it 1 DKH. So if you're at 7, you can very quickly bump this up. It's a super strong product, and it also comes with the calcium and magnesium, and also some elements, trace elements, which I believe that you can add to the solutions. I might have got that wrong. Corey, no doubt, will say, but I think it's very much similar. I'm going to say similar to the fauna marine salts, whereby you've got the salts and then you can add, I believe, your trace elements, or maybe I got that wrong, but it's great. according to people tried it. I know Ian Robder, for example, has been testing this out for NIOS, and I know Corey put an awful lot of effort in it. Anyway, so
right,
Angela's got
up now
a slogan that you've all got to type in.
All right.
And yeah, I can't believe this.
Right.
You ready?
Yeah.
Right. You've all got to put Trippy is lovely if you want to be in the. Right.
Oh,
Trippy is lovely.
God.
Come on.
I despair.
Oh,
No, no.
I think I've gone red doing that.
Yeah, well, you would do. while we're waiting for look, there's a little one there going back to when we were talking in the sump. Love that tank. He's got like a little like almost like a nano sumpy bit, which is quite good. MPS are learning so much. That's great. Well, you'll learn every week, every day. You'll be learning with your reef tank. That's what makes it so alluring. What we got there, appreciate us to do with something else. What we got? Oh no, yeah, this is quite a good point actually. What that was made earlier on. Christy, don't listen to people dosing vodka tank. Just don't. No, please don't. This is what the problem is. Don't listen to.
Just
it's a little joke.
Yeah.
Vodka, lime and soda.
Yeah.
Right. What we got there? Dan's Reef. I'm currently offering on a DD 1800, depending on when they have a sale on the next. Well, you never know. You'll have to give us a shout, Steve. We'll see what's coming up. Right. I dose. What's that one there? I dose cat wash from my fluval, weekly water change there. I mean, again, so there's a discipline or a regime on these fluval 52.
I think Krusty put a comment further back saying he still uses 1060 as well.
Yeah, Neon 1060.
Yeah.
But this is relating to the Nano Reefs, but look how simple that is for Sturry Reef. I dose cat water on my fluval and weekly water change. That's all. And that's it. But it's the discipline that keeps that tank looking amazing. Can't beat a simple nano tank. Yeah, that's absolutely true. Here we go, and that's exactly what we can be. See, like AAC, I've had more problems with my nano than my 3 foot. It's been a nightmare. Exactly that. I mean, Nano Reefs, like I said. What I would say to you, John, I'm guessing, I don't know because I don't know enough about your aquariums, but I'm guessing that tank's got quite a few fish in it, and that could be the limiting factor. See, when we were referring to Stephen Bates's awesome Goniapora tank, he has just 2 nano gobies in 100 litres, and that might be the problem with a lot of nano reefs. A lot of people put too many fish in them, a lot of nutrients, you know.
It's hard to know the bioload when you've got that many fish.
Yeah, let's have a little look down there. All for reef. What's that one? Let's have a look at that. Right, there we go. This is something you do, Paulie, isn't it? All for Reef is a fantastic product, especially for a nanogram. Dosed that since 3 months in Coral Explosion, single HG, torch 14 heads, Goni doubled it all in size. I mean, All for Reef is actually a really good product to use on a nano reef, really, as long as you're not already out of ionic balance. And what that means for people like Christy means that if the water is in manner in the first place, and then you use All for Reef, which basically has alkalinity supplement and a calcium supplement as well as trace elements, etc. in it. The problem is that if you're already low on one end, when you dose equally this product, it will equally be the way. But Moggsy's got a lot of experience, but certainly that could work really well.
But I think, Paul, if you know your range and you do your testing, and ICP might be a way of doing that. You then buffer the others to get where you need to be in that range. Once you've buffered it, then you can dose it. Or you could dose All for Reef and then buffer on top of it, can't you? So it's not insurmountable, but you've got to get your head around it.
Look at that. Apparently, JB, Stevie Fox here, they do a 6. He's referring to NIOS aquariums. He's doing his salesman bit in the chat here, look. Yeah, but apparently I'm getting a new NIOS tank.
Oh, yeah.
I know I am.
They're nice, actually. The
they are really nice
cubes.
Nice, what we got there? It's all right. Just reading through there. There's a lot of chat there. There we go. Dan's Reef.
Yeah,
Niles.
Reef. Niles.
That's it. Jumping back to the right. Moggsy, what we got there? Right, hey, Moggsy, you jump for love. Oh, I hope Moggsy's coming. Oh, here we go. Yeah, there we go. Look, just read being nosy. Hopefully see you there, mate. There's a lot of there. Wife.
Hello, Emma.
Hi, Emma. How you doing? Yeah, and then another one about the what's name? Okay, what was that? Carry on, girls, please. Yeah, look, here we go, Drippy. Carry on, girls, please. Oh, look, nice pajamas. Got Shawno in there, like Sean there, looking at your wife's pajamas, Paul, in there.
Christy, you're missing right
that's
out.
it, Christy. You're missing right out.
Yeah, I just can't help himself, can he?
I sincerely apologise. That's it. Yeah. What we got there. Paul's got to go up soon. Jill's in the PJs. And Carrie's. I won't put that one up.
Jill heard it anyway. Jill's listening.
Oh, we ain't stopping him. Look at him, Drippy. Christy, is your mum sing? Right, okay. There we go. What we got there from Steve. No, Grumpy, no, I love my Max. No, don't get me wrong. I'd love a bigger tank when I'm allowed, but it's so easy to maintain and change water easy compared to a bigger tank. There's certainly a lot more investment involved with a bigger tank, but I wouldn't have said it's necessarily any easier with a Nano because, for example, my seal system has an automatic water change system built into it. So the bigger you go, the more costly it is for certain, but there are solutions these days for lots of those minor jobs that you perhaps would do on a Nano Reef. But I suppose some of the jobs are identical. So if you've got a protein skimmer, that Venturi inlet, the bit that sucks your air in, that needs to clean every 3 months, whether it's a Nano Reef or whether it's a huge, great big system. So, you know, I think there's, I don't necessarily believe that. I think a bigger system is actually, if we're talking no budget, I mean, if in an ideal, you can have what you want these days. In fact, you can have someone come around your house and take your water out, as successful reef aquariums does. Sean in the chat does. You know, Sean's got a list of clients like I used to have and used to service. So it just depends on your budget how easy you can make it when you get bigger, I would say. Have we got right, successful reef aquariums? But put that one up there that Sean's just put up there. Anyone know if it's stronger than Triton Core 7 yet? Do you know what? I can't answer that, Sean. I'm going to be completely honest with you. It's been a long time since I've looked on the back of a lot of bottles, I have to say. I don't read any instructions, as the staff will tell you. I sort of guess it a bit, you know, right? Yeah. But I'm guessing that because Triton Core 7 is a super strong product. I don't know. Corey could probably answer that one. He's in the chat somewhere.
Jackson's used the dosing, so it's brilliant.
So you've been using it for a while by the looks of it. Andy's been having a play or using it on the grow outs, which is good.
Yeah, Moxley, yes, he's joining us for 100% on.
Right, I've updated all the names. Should I close the giveaway?
Yeah, I think for the first one, this is for the NIOS additives set, everyone. We are about Drippy's lovely, Drippy's lovely, Drippy's the getting. Look, he loves it. Look, I know he would.
But he hasn't wrote Drippy's lovely. Does that count?
No, he can't enter in the chat, the silly. He hasn't wrote his own name in it, so you can't get him for that one, Drippy. Quick, close chat.
I think he had later on, but he was lovely, yeah.
Oh, right. Oh, my God.
Oh, look. Lee.
Oh my God!
He's lovely and a great
Steve
guy.
Fox got it wrong, and plus he doesn't need to work. Steve Fox does not need to win back his own products, does he? Oh, I love Drippy. Right, Drippy's lovely. Drippy's lovely. Bloody hell, Paul! Have you managed to get all these in?
Yeah.
John,
are
you
going to close? Do you want me to add it to stage?
I've put in the comments closed, so it's all done.
Oh, loads of people have gone.
Right, yeah, I'll post this out. If any of you can't get, I prefer it if you could pick it up from AAC. Right, but I'm going to stick the wheel up now. But if you can collect, great. If not, as long as you're a UK mainland, I can post it to you if you can't do it. All right, it's $89.99 postage though. There we go. Right, you need to get rid of that one. I can't comment. That's it. Right, so we're all in there.
Right, so what I do? You can.
Are you going to teach me to do this, or are you doing it?
No, I can. I have to do it because I have to press the button. So
okay.
What we do before we go, I'm just going to go to the top of the list. So and then if you haven't got your name, if you've put it in there and I've missed it, then tell me. So I'm just going to scroll down. So even though I've double checked it,
Right.
and I'll give it 30 seconds as well, Paul, because there's a lag between us speaking and it going out there.
Right, yeah. The only person that didn't get in, I believe, was Wakefield Reef. They say call it the Wheel of Misfortune.
I've put him in.
Right.
Generous, so I've put him in.
Drippy Reef Geek. How much did that cost you with Ange? That was funny. Good luck, all. That's it. Thank you, Darren. Right, I think you're there, mate. It's Wakefield Reef. You put him in anyway, yeah?
He's in there. You can see on the screen, hopefully.
Yeah, good. Okay, so I reckon you can press that button, Paulie.
So this is for the NIOS on the first.
For the NIOS, the new NIOS range. Very, very good. There we go. There's the elements we've got.
We are spinning.
Yeah, iron 1, iron 3, iron B, calcium, iron B, alk and pH. Roxanne Way. Well done, Roxanne. That's it. Fantastic. Oh, Roxanne. Is that Norfolk Reefer's wife? I think it is. Isn't it?
Yeah, Matt, I think it's Matt's. Yeah.
I think it's Matt's wife, I think, possibly.
Oh,
tuned in to see Drippy as well. To talk to Drippy in the chat. All right. That's it. Yeah. Okay. So we're done with that one then, Paul. Yeah.
Right. So what's the second one?
Right. So Roxanne's Reef. Right.
Yeah, right.
If you write, sorry, Roxanne Way down. Sorry, has won the NIOS gear. Roxanne's Reef. It sounds good, that, doesn't it? I don't
want to rub it in, but look how close Hurren's Reef was to winning.
I know. Hurren's Reef was just
nice.
Yeah, he was, this all of that. Right, so we're going to keep the same people in, and then we're going to go straight into the ICP.
We'll just right. So what have you got?
You got do this. We got 2 chances.
Was that okay?
Yeah, we got 2. They're superb. I find these actually 2 of the Reefs Elements ICPs. Saltwater testing, does salinity as well. These ones as well. All your usual minor and trace elements and stuff. Very, very useful. If we go with the first one,
so spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel, Paulie. Oh, UKM 120. Well, yeah, there you go. Right, UKM 120. UKM 120. Can you do me a favour and message the AAC and Roxanne? If you could message the AAC page via Facebook,
let us know
and let us know. And if you could use the, just make sure you make us aware of your details, because I don't know your name. Maybe you could put it in the chat as well, your actual name. All right, I'm not sure. Mind you, I think his name's Anthony from what I've just seen pop up there on there. Right. Okay, right. We've got a final ICP for this evening. Thank you very much, D&D, as well, for donating these. And thank you very much to Exodus and NIOS for the other days. Really, really kind of you all. We're really chuffed with this, the fact we get that. Right, let's go for it again, Paulie.
Last one.
Whoa! Stu's Reef. Stu's Reef. If you could also put your full name in the chat and then maybe message us through the page, and we can make arrangements to either get it posted out or collect in store. Okie doke. Right, Paul, I think we're sort of more or less done, really. We'll just go back through the chat and just make sure. So we've got Anthony there.
While you're doing that, so just summarise Love to Reef.
Yeah.
17th of May. Tickets are £20. If you want the tickets, then go in store to AAC or online.
When are we putting them on sale?
When are they going on sale, Paulie?
So you can buy them now. So you can message me if you want from now.
And then I'll get Connor to create a line on the store for you. So AAC, if you want to order them and get them posted to you, they will. If you want to, we just do it, but we don't just do e-tickets, do we?
We have. So basically, what happens is, if you want a ticket, message me. I'll then sort out payment. You send me the money. Then about 2 weeks before the show, I'll issue a digital ticket from the Love to Reef email to your inbox. Then you bring it along and you show it on your phone. So there's no paper.
And the reason why you don't get your ticket until 2 weeks before the show is because we've learned in the past that if we send you your ticket straight away, you'll lose it amongst your thousands of emails.
Yeah, it's just made a thing.
Yeah, if you're on Hotmail, it only usually goes back 28 days. Your email box. Trying to find it is quite difficult. So therefore, if you go 2 weeks, it's easier to find. Just put it on the screen, and then Jill will be on the door, I'm sure, ticking off the numbers and taking your money for the raffle. So yeah, message me either Fish Palace or Love to Reef on Instagram or Facebook, or if you go to the website, which is lovetoreef.com, there is a form on there if you want to order a ticket from there. There's no shopping basket or anything like that. It's direct from me. I then get a message, and then I'll message you via email, whatever your contact details are, and then we'll go from there. What I will probably do, everyone who buys a ticket, I will then find out how long you've been in the hobby. Because I think, Paul, if we could get a small number of people that are relatively new to the hobby, we might be able to put something on for them for a half-hour session or 45 session as a kind of meet and greet, and for them to get buddies and stuff like that if that's something they want.
Right, a couple of things in the chat, Paul, before we go, because there's a lot of comments and stuff. First of all, Drippy was dippy enough to pay the postage last time. So if you do, in the next 2 or 3 days, we'll publicise it on the Facebook and Instagram when AAC goes live with Love to Reef. So you've got another avenue of buying your ticket. You know, we literally pass that ticket on money straight over to Paul. There's no money going into AAC's pocket. It just gives Paul an easy way of dealing with it.
Method in store, isn't it?
Yeah, so it helps. So you can we'll get it a code or something online. But whatever happens, don't pay the postage. We said this last time. And
collect from store.
Just either collect from store only or something like that. We'll try and give you good instructions as clear as we can. That was the first thing. What we got there. See you next time, Christy. It's all a laugh, honestly. Yeah, it's lovely, Darren. We try and make it fun and have a laugh. What else we got? There we go. There she goes. Look, there we go. Thanks for a hilarious but slightly concerning introduction. I think Drippy's frightened her off.
It's all good.
You're safe.
It's all good gestures.
Where have we got? I thought I saw another comment on that. I know that Steve Fox just put up a comment a little while ago. I've lost it in the chat. But Steve Fox said that he's more than happy, Paul, to help. He likes to see these live streams. So again, thank you very much, Steve, for donation. Very generous, and thanks to D&D again tonight. Couple more comments. Roxanne's Reef sounds good. I think it's way better than Norfolk Reefer. Roxanne's Reef. I like that. It's really good. What else have we got? Great chat tonight from Sam. We've got, when can we start? Well, but you certainly can order a ticket off of Paul more or less straight away. You can get
now, I've got some people messaging me, so just message. I may not come back tonight, but I'll come back tomorrow and we can sort the details. So I've got some messages. Don't leave it,
folks. Because obviously, when Paul's been doing these things before, everyone seems to leave it to lastminute.com. If you want to come, it's 20 quid, for Christ's sake. Just pay your 20 quid, and if you win, if you want come, you come, and if you don't, you don't. But don't leave it to last knockings, because I know that Paul last time we did stop it. We had to in the end because people were trying to buy it 5 minutes beforehand and all that.
I had at least 20 unanswered messages.
4
days before. One we'd sold out and they already posted, and I didn't have time because obviously the run up to the show, I'm doing loads of stuff. So I just wasn't able to get back to people. So in that, the last knockings, once it's sold out, I'm not going to sell any more tickets for the simple reason that we haven't got room.
No.
Yeah, I know.
No, we have to set a capacity, and that's it.
Paul.
Don't.
I know that.
No swearing, Drippy.
Did a foxy one? I don't.
That's it. What's that there? That was the one. Yeah, more than welcome to help the charity and Love to Reef. Great, Foxy. We'll be tapping you up for a great raffle prize. Where we go? There we go. Paul. Darren. The score.
You've done Instagram, Darren.
Yeah.
I think most
Thank
people
you.
are doing actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Sean. I'm going to ignore this comment just for a minute.
It's been asked in every other live stream, hasn't it?
I know.
I'm missing
No.
Rama. Do you know, if Rama was around, I miss him because he always asked me what vape I'm on. Right, there we go. That's thanks, Paul and Ange. Mogsy, there we go. Brilliant. Yeah, you join us, Mogsy. I'd like to see you back online. That'd be great. Where we go. I think that's it, really. I think we're more or less done. Just thanks for a great live streaming. Great to see you. Love to reef. Can't wait. Lee, nice stream, guys. Drop your message Monday. No problem at all. Thank you very much, Rob. I think we're there. And then we get a little laugh about the comment about when I'm posting corals again. At some point. Maybe I need someone else.
No date.
I might need another member of staff, believe it or not. Right. Anyway, thank you all very, very much for joining again. And as I said tonight, again, it was all a bit of a rush. And thank you, Paul L, so much. And now you can go and have your shower and your dinner. All right.
You must be starving.
You must be starving.
I'm all right, actually. I'm okay.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, thank you all, everyone. And thanks for joining. And we'll be back soon, I think, with a little bit on the update at AAC's DT crisis. But there we go. All right. Thank you very much. Good evening.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye. If you